Hey everybody, I'm Liberty Vittert, Senior Data Scientist here at Decision Desk HQ. So I'm here to take you through the absolute up-to-date last-minute numbers in key battleground states ahead of this 2024 presidential election between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. So let's find out who is winning the election if it was going to be decided today, Trump or Harris. So remember, national polls don't really matter. It's the Electoral College, and there are 538 electoral votes up for grabs. 270 are needed to win the presidency. Most states are not considered competitive. So when they say your vote doesn't matter, that's what they mean. You're in one of those states. But according to the latest DDHQ forecast, 7 states are labeled as toss-ups, meaning your vote does matter. 2 more states are leaning toward Harris or Trump, but the remaining 41 states and DC each have better than an 80% chance of voting in whatever particular direction they're supposed to vote in. These toss-ups are the 7 states where we expect the Harris and Trump campaigns to direct pretty much all their time and money over the next 6 weeks leading up to November 5th, so where you will be bombarded with advertisement. Of these 7 states, Harris needs 44 electoral votes to win, while Trump needs 51. So let's adjust the Electoral College map based upon the latest polling data as if the election were being held today and the polls are all correct. So let's go with our first toss-up, Nevada. Republicans are in a stronger position to flip the silver state than they've been in almost over 2 decades. Trump lost Nevada by 2.4% to Clinton and by the same margin to Biden in 2020. This means that the state has actually shifted to the right relative to the nation since Biden won the national popular vote by a bigger margin than Clinton. In 2022, the GOP flipped the governor's office and won the popular vote for the U.S. House for the first time in decades. These pro-Republican trends had continued while Biden remained in the race, as our final polling average prior to the president's withdrawal had Trump leading by almost 6 points. But now with Harris leading the Democratic ticket, she leads Trump by 1.2%. So based upon that polling average showing Harris narrowly in front, we'll shift Nevada into the lean Democrat category on our Electoral College map. So just southeast of Nevada, we have Arizona. This was the second closest contest in the 2020 election. Biden narrowly carried the Grand Canyon State by 0.3% with a raw vote margin of less than 11,000 votes. So when people talk about the 2020 election being won by only thousands of votes, this is one of the states that they mean. This has marked only the second time Arizona has voted Democrat at the presidential level since 1952. So our latest average here in 2024 has Trump leading Harris by 0.7%. So returning to our electoral map, Arizona goes into the lean Republican category. So we have Nevada for Harris and we have Arizona for Trump. Moving to the southeast in Georgia, this was the closest state in the 2020 election. Biden became the first Democrat to carry the peach state since Bill Clinton in 1992, winning by a margin of only 0.2%, approximately 12,000 votes, so a tiny amount. Arizona and Georgia exhibited sort of remarkably similar voting patterns in that election and have shown very comparable trends over the last decade. So since the 2012 presidential election, where Mitt Romney defeated Barack Obama by 9 points in Arizona and 8 points in Georgia, these states have experienced the third and fifth strongest pro-Democrat shifts relative to the national popular vote. So looking ahead to 2024, Trump holds an advantage of less than half a point, 0.3%. Now, this average has flipped back and forth over the last several weeks, but has consistently tilted ever so slightly in Trump's direction over the last week or so, as each of the last 6 polls shows Trump in front by margins of less than 3 points. So returning to the map, Georgia finds itself in the lean Republican column, lifting him up and ahead of Harris, now in the race to 270 electoral votes with 246 and 232 respectively. So we have 4 toss-ups left. So let's go to North Carolina. A reliably Republican-leaning state over the last decade or so, the Tar Heel state has voted Republican in every federal election since 2008. That's for president and Senate. Yet the last 7 of those races were each decided by less than 6 points, making North Carolina a consistently purplish state. So now here in 2024, it represents the Harris campaign's only real pickup opportunity on the electoral map, as she'll be on defense almost everywhere else. So the latest average, however, has Trump narrowly ahead by 0.6% based on 27 polls, although that average has been flipping back and forth over the last several weeks. But still, North Carolina goes in the lean Republican column. So finally, let's move up and across to the Rust Belt, a trio that has voted in tandem with another in 8 of the last 9 presidential elections, backing Democrats in all but one, 2016, of those cycles. So in 2016, Trump narrowly defeated Clinton in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. But then in 2020, Biden won back the trio for the Democrats with margins of 1.2%, 2.8%, and 0.6%, respectively. It is really important to note that if Clinton had won those 3 states in 2016, she would have been president and Trump would have never taken office. And similarly, if Trump had retained these states in 2020, he would be serving a second term right now. These states are crucial again this November, as the Democratic Party will need to sweep all 3 to reach 270 electoral votes. Regarding polling for 2024, Harris has consistently appeared more competitive in the core Rust Belt trio than in any of the Sun Belt states. This is significant because even if Trump wins all 4 battlegrounds in the Sun Belt, Harris could still secure a first term by sweeping the Rust Belt. So according to the latest averages, Harris leads Trump by a slim margin of 2.2% in Wisconsin. She has led or been tied with Trump in 9 of the last 10 polls. So based upon this, Wisconsin goes into the lean Democrat category on our map. Michigan, which has been hugely discussed and hotly debated because of the anti-Israel vote there, Harris holds a 1.2% lead. Again, the VP has led since mid to late July when it became clear that she would replace Joe Biden. Michigan is really considered the bluest of the core Rust Belt trio, having voted for Biden by 2.8% in 2020. So here on our 2024 map, it will go into the lean blue category for Harris. Finally, let's turn to Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, which might be the most crucial state in the 2024 election cycle. So anyone who lives in Pennsylvania, get ready for the ad barrage if you're not already having it. It offers by far the largest prize among key battlegrounds with 19 electoral votes. Trump won Pennsylvania by 0.7% in 2016, but Biden reclaimed it for the Democrats with a 1.2% victory in 2020. Looking ahead to 2024, Harris maintains an identical margin here as in Michigan, 1.2%, based upon 48 polls. More surveys have been conducted in Pennsylvania than in any other state, which shows you how important it is. So on the electoral map, Pennsylvania will be placed in the lean Democrat category, lifting Harris up and above the necessary electoral vote threshold at 276, leading Trump's 262. So if the election were today and the polls were right, it would be a Harris victory. That's all for the Decision Desk HQ video this week. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts, comments, and reactions in the comments below. And please make sure to click that like button down below if you did indeed like it, and subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. Also, make sure to check out more content from our channel here, and we will catch you next time. Thanks so much.